What's up, fam? We right back. It's the Win Column. I'm here with my boy Dev. Today, we're going to talk about risky fantasy picks, right? That can help you win your league, pretty much, right? And what I wanted to do was run down 4 people, right? So I'm pretty much taking one person from each skill position, right? That I think might be risky, but reasons why it can really help you win your league in 2021.
Maybe some low-end kind of players.
Right. And you're gonna give me your thoughts on that.
Yeah,
I'm saying?
I'm gonna react to I'm gonna pick up what you're putting down.
Right, I hear that. Then maybe throw some guys at me.
I might do that.
Okay. So we're on the same boat. So number one, we're gonna go with quarterback. Okay,
Yes,
and I'm gonna go with a guy that I'm all over, which is Carson Wentz.
Wow.
The reason for the risk, I think, is obvious. He struggled. As you can see, he's a laughing stock pretty much because you just laughing at hearing Carson Wentz. He struggled. He's often injured. New team, don't know what to expect. But what I say is, Wentz had his best season with Frank Reich, the head coach of the Colts, as his offensive coordinator in Philly. So that's one good thing.
Right.
Number 2, in that year they had that great year, Philly had a great line. I believe they had 2 All-Pros, 3 Pro Bowlers.
Right.
Okay? They had Alshon Jeffrey.
As far as offensive line, who's the left tackle?
At that time, I believe that would have been Jason Peters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
A much more healthy Jason Peters.
And then one of the Kelsey. I think Kelsey was on that line too.
Yes. For a second, I'm like, Kelsey. Yeah, I almost played myself. With that being said, we had the receivers of Alshon Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar, Torrey Smith, and Zach Ertz, right?
Why you do Torrey Smith? Like
Because it was Torrey at a different time in his career.
I got you.
to put it the least. But Torrey got, what, 3 Super Bowls? No, 2 with Philly and Baltimore.
Yeah.
Anyway, right? Look at who the Colts have. I think it really matches up. You have your Alshon Jeffrey and Michael Pittman, who I really like this year as well. You got your speed guy in T.Y. Hilton like a Nelson Aguilar was, but better, even at an older stage in his career. You got Paris Campbell, another speed guy who can, similar to a Torrey Smith or so. Torrey Smith, way better player, but Paris Campbell with some ability. And you have tight end options where if a guy makes himself the guy, either Jordan Thomas coming over from the Texans, Mo Alley Cox, or Colin Grayson, the guy that they got out of SMU, I'm thinking that one of these guys pops, or as a committee, you have a good group to throw to, and then you have Jonathan Taylor, okay, on top of it all with the consistent run game. The Colts defense was really good last year, and let's not forget, they play in the division.
It's the South. It's horrible.
Yeah, I mean,
it's horrible.
Titans defense was suspect last year.
Right.
Jaguars are still trying to figure something out. And Houston, oh my Lord.
They don't have a quarterback.
You should be able, if you can't, if Carson Wentz can't go out there and throw 4 tutties against them, I don't know what he's doing. So I'm thinking this is a guy that, listen, yeah, he's going lower than I think he should because you should be bullish on Carson Wentz this year.
I'm not mad at that pick. You know what I mean? Like, I honestly agree with literally everything you said. You know what I mean? Like, to me, particularly, it goes like, when you're the best position or the most important position at your sport, if all you're doing pretty much is switching that out and it's an improvement, then you're bound to be better.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you take out what's the black who the coach that last year? I'm tripping. Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, they did have Phillip Rivers. Yeah. Rivers. I was thinking the same thing. I forgot Phillip Rivers played there last year.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Because it was. I won't say it was forgettable. At some points there was some, but it's obvious
they
that
beat
Carson
us too.
Wentz.
Phillip Rivers beat the Packers too. So I can't say too much.
Yeah, I mean there was some high moments, but at the same time, you know that this team could be better with Carson Wentz, or at least you want to believe it.
I'm good. I like that defense a lot, a whole lot. You know what I mean? And like you said, with Carson wants to go back with Frank Reich, who, like you said, put him in a position to have his best season of his career, a hurt season. You know what I mean? Which was in the MVP conversation. Then I don't see why it wouldn't be even better with a better defense.
A better defense.
The line,
best run game he would have ever seen.
Exactly. Jonathan Taylor is low-key a beast. You know what I'm saying? And then when it comes to the line, they have one of the best lines. I can't remember the guard name, but he's one of the best guard. He is the best guard in the league.
Yeah.
Richard Nelson or something like that, whatever. But yeah, I can't knock that. You know what I mean? I really can't knock
I think it's kind of unknockable. My next guy.
Unknockable.
My next guy would be running back J.K. Dobbins. Yeah, I mean, Ravens in the house. I do feel like he's a risk. I'm seeing a lot of the same things. I'm seeing him out of the top 15 in most rankings.
He's a big risk.
Yeah. Reason being, Lamar and Gus Edwards. You don't know what's going to happen. But here's my tidbit. Here's my thing to tune in.
Here you go, ladies
as
and
a Ravens fan,
as
a locked in Ravens
get
fan.
Passionate, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, trust me, Lamar's going to run less this year. Lamar Jackson is going to run less this year.
I don't think that's a far-fetched kind of take.
More so than people think. More so than the fantasy community understands and thinks.
Okay.
A lot of people forgot that Lamar Jackson left the last game he played with a concussion. Mm-hmm. Okay. Harbaugh came out talking about our offense as good as it is. Being Harbaugh, every year there's a little meeting that they have, though, in Florida. Okay. Harbaugh, the GM, the owner. After that, Harbaugh been talking totally different. Like, yeah, we know we got to improve in the passing game. You see the things that they've done in the draft. Lamar's going to run less. I think that JK's main competition from a fantasy standpoint is going to be Gus Edwards stealing some touchdowns and touches overall. But the last thing to not underestimate is that he's going to be involved in the passing game. So I think that
JK.
Yes, J.K. Dobbins. So I think that we're going to see some catches from him out of the backfield. I think that Lamar is going to lose some carries, and that's going to go to J.K. Everybody on the Ravens knows he's the best running back on the team, even though Gus Edwards. You know what? This not what this video is about.
I'm just checking.
So, damn that. The best running back on the team is J.K. Dobbins, and I think that ignore the committee situation, take a chance on him as an RB2, and I think it's going to pay off for you very well.
Okay, cool. Who else we got going?
I'm throwing it to Courtland Sutton, okay? Courtland Sutton is a guy that I really like at wide receiver. I always liked him coming out of the draft a whole lot. Don't see how the NFL let him go in the second round. He's not going to start this season on the PUP list. So the risk is his injury, right? That's one of the biggest risks. The other risk is people are going to say, what about Jerry Jeudy? What about Noah Fant? What about KJ Hamler? I don't think Noah Fant is a tight end, so he's in his own lane. I think he's played well, but I don't think that it's going to happen, to be honest with you. I think that Tim Patrick played well for them as well last year. I don't want to leave him out, but he's redundant if you have Courtland Sutton.
You got the same kind of body.
Right, and I think that his ability to make the tough catches is still going to matter. I think Jerry Jeudy really needs to dumb down his route running a little bit. Coming out of college, I wasn't super high on him because everybody loved him, but my problem is a lot of wasted motion, a lot of goofy shit that he's doing with his route running. It worked in college. NFL receivers have seen years of Odell Beckham with the crossovers and things of that nature. They were on it. You know what I mean? So I think he needs to refine his route running. I still think Courtland Sutton is the guy, and I think that he's shown that despite quarterback issues, he can get it done. And Teddy Bridgewater could end up being an upgrade over Drew Lock.
I mean, I believe he will be an upgrade. But I also think you're disrespecting Jerry Jeudy a little bit too much.
I don't mean to disrespect him. I'm just saying that I think that he has some things to learn about how to translate his game better to the NFL. Yeah. Courtland Sutton has nothing to learn. He just needs to be healthy.
Yeah, of course. He he just got to stay on the field. I had him in one of my fantasy leagues 2 years ago. So, yeah. I'm not knocking that at all. But I definitely think I think Teddy Bridgewater would. I think Courtland Sutton would benefit better off of Teddy Bridgewater because I feel like, what's the quarterback name? Drew Lock is very fixated on Jerry Jeudy. You know what I'm saying? Well,
he was last year before then.
Exactly.
Well, he never got really fixated on Courtland, to be honest. But I think that they're going to make it work as a group. And I think Courtland's going to lead that group. And I think that there's going to be around a 60 to 70 catch season, about 1,200 yards.
For Courtland Sutton.
Yeah. And a nice 6 touchdowns or so.
Yeah, I'm putting it out there right now. I'm always big on KJ Hamler, so I'm anxious to see how he's.
I was too. So we'll see what happens, but I think he has more so just a role. So let's finish with my last guy, Jonnu Smith. Similar to Courtland Sutton.
I don't know about
similar
this
to.
This is like one of my.
It's a stretch.
Yeah.
Is it stretched on the risk or the reward?
Is it a stretch on the?
You don't think he's risky, or you don't think he's going to have the payoff?
I'm not sure about the reward.
So here's my thing.
I was
somebody has to play the Hernandez role. And I'm
Do they?
honestly,
Do they
yes.
have to?
Well, not really, because it's not like that's super important to them anymore. But they've drafted multiple tight ends multiple years. I think that they're looking for right, and I think that they're looking for that again. So they went to free agency to try to get that this year. And I don't think that you have to look at the presence of Hunter Henry as very scary, because you're talking about more of a slot, middle of the field guy who gets hurt a lot. And Jonnu, I can see them using him more like a move guy, running kind of the quick routes.
I can see
the little bubble screens in the end zone.
I mean,
red zone.
Run game too, though.
Yeah, and in the red zone,
which is
he's versatile and he can block.
You said red zone or run game?
Run game.
Yeah. I see him more in the run game, which cause I think Hunter Henry's a better receiver than Jonnu Smith.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when it comes to what the Patriots would do, they may throw the double tight end set out there, which they should, and which
I think they will.
Exactly, which we all.
I think they're going to try to run the ball a lot.
A whole lot. You know what I mean? Why you shouldn't touch no motherfuckers over there neither.
Now, all I'm saying is that he's a player that's looked at as a risk. When he first got there, people would have been happy that Hunter Henry was signed. I think like a day or two later,
and it was like,
oh no, I can't touch him.
Exactly.
I think you can still touch Jonnu Smith if you find yourself in the later parts of a fantasy draft and everybody has snatched up some of the tight ends that you want. I would say don't be too scared. Take a chance.
But I think with all your other picks, he is the last pick if you had what you had left.
Okay, so with a little bit of time that we have, there was another guy coming to the top of your brain.
Me?
That you'd rather take a chance on that tight end.
Over Jonnu Smith in the later rounds?
Mm-hmm. Anybody come off the top of your head?
No, you can't put me in a
So then it's
spot.
Jonnu Smith. I won. Thank y'all for tuning in. We got more videos like this coming your way.
Tripping.
Hey, bro.
But can you? I mean, give me who else is in that same realm?
Like I said, it's a wrap. We had a great time.
Oh yeah.
We love you guys. Stay tuned.
Yes, sir.